All right, let's start. All righty. Hello, hello. See a few people. Here we are. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
I'm just gonna wait like 2 more minutes until more people come in, but feel free to drop in the chat where you're watching from. Yeah, I'm currently in Vancouver, Canada. Leibing's in Singapore, right?
I'm in Singapore, yes.
Woohoo.
Global.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, hi, Daniel. What's up?
Oh, from the Philippines. Nice. Welcome, welcome, Denise.
Hello.
Hi. I'm gonna see if I can pronounce the name Ozazi.
Osazi.
From Nigeria. All right. See, I have a few more people coming in. All right, we'll just wait 1 more minute. Perfect. I pronounced the name right. Lawanda Edwards from Alabama. All right. Nice, nice. I used to live in Arizona and New Mexico, but I'm in Canada now, so.
Nice. What was that like?
It was nice. Arizona was super hot, really hot.
Yeah, that's where the Arizona iced tea is from, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The desert.
So long.
There's a desert there, right?
Yeah, definitely scorpions, cactus, tumbleweeds. Now we got Kirill from Portugal. Awesome. Okie dokie. So yeah, I guess we can kick it off. This is being recorded for anybody who is either at work or running late, hasty. But yeah, just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to come to this webinar that Leibing will be presenting. This is a webinar topic that our regional leaders actually requested, and pretty excited for Leibing to just go over really popular use cases of our Covalent API. He also runs our hackathons, but Leibing would love if you could give an introduction and background to yourself. And yeah, I'll let you take it away.
Nice, thanks, Jackie. And thanks for hosting this very lovely, intimate session with our Alchemist regional leaders. Hi guys, I'm Leibing and I'm working as developer relations here at Covalent. Specifically, I run lots of hackathons here. So I get exposed firsthand to a lot of new projects that's being built on Covalent, right, using our API. And that's why today I think it's a nice idea to kind of give you my vantage point a little bit about what's being built, mostly from the newer hackathon side of things, right? We've got also quite a number of large dApps or applications that's using our API. For those, someone else on the team is handling that, but I'll still, briefly run through the main categories of use cases, and hopefully this will be an informative session for all of you guys. All right, let's get going. So the first one I want to mention is this category, which is actually quite a big so-called like customer of ours that uses our API, or like a category of customers that use our API, which is like crypto sheets. And let me give you an example of what it looks like. So some of these examples, I am drawing them from the hackathons that I was part of, right? Those production level projects tend to be a little more difficult to find because sometimes they use us and without telling our team, and so it's harder to track them down. But here are some examples what I refer to when I talk about crypto sheets. So these guys, they built this dashboard using our NFT endpoint, And as you know, our NFT endpoint is under here, right? So this is our collection of NFT endpoints. There's two more that's currently under maintenance, but generally you get lots of rich NFT data. For instance, all the tokens within the contract, for instance, all the NFT transactions of a particular NFT collection, for instance, like Bored Apes, right? You can get all the transactions of that collection. You also have like external metadata, etc. So with all these, someone has built an NFT dashboard, which gives you what are the top 3 NFTs arranged according to market cap on the Ethereum mainnet. Right, so these are all the top NFT collections, as well as the 24-hour volume. Moving on, we see a more granular version of a dashboard. Right, I think there's something wrong with the formulas here. But as you can see, this is a chart arranged according to market cap and number of contracts deployed every month per month here. Right. So we also find data with regards to the top projects by 24-hour volume, top projects by market cap. So I guess if you're coming from an analyst background and you want to find out more market information about the projects out there, all these is built using our API. And this is the raw data that is being exported with an API key using the analyst mode. So if you're not familiar with the analyst mode, all you're doing is kind of switching this from developer to analyst. And then when you click run, it gives you the CSV or the Excel spreadsheet format of all the data that you need. And what the developer did was to copy this spreadsheet or upload it into this page, format it a bit to build this. Ta-da. Right. So another one. This one, they use the attribute analysis and found out within the Bored Apes collection, for instance, how many specific NFTs had the army hat attribute, or how many Bored Ape NFTs are baby's bonnets, or bandana blue, right? So with this, they did like a heat diagram to show red depicting those that are more common, and then green depicting those that are really rare. So that you kind of know which are the valuable or rarer NFTs out there. Amazing job here as well, right? So one of the popular users, and especially if you don't come from a coding background, would be to use the raw data that you get from our API to power your crypto sheets. Those 3 that I showed you are more NFT specific crypto sheets, but our balancers endpoint have been very popular to give, for instance, whale analysis. You've got a couple of addresses of whales, right? And you want to find out what are the trading patterns, what tokens are they holding and when. All these endpoints allow you to get equally rich crypto sheets depicting their transactions across time, right? So unfortunately, I haven't found an example there to show you, but that has been done. I've seen a lot of examples of that before. Right. The second very popular use case that we have are wallets. So, wallets like MetaMask, like Rainbow Wallet, like Trust Wallet, all these wallets, they have a general purpose of displaying your transactions. Where Covalent is really popular is building these things called multi-chain wallets or multi-chain asset trackers. And let me give you an example. There, this is one by DeFi. This is an example of an asset tracker. So it's slightly different from a wallet, but the places where they use our data to get to display on page, those are the same endpoints. So for instance, you see my current holdings on Ethereum mainnet. I hold some DAI, some Ether, some USDC, or 0 USDC to be exact. And I used to hold USDT as well, right? So that is all used. Sorry, still having a bit of a cough from my lingering COVID. Don't mind me. So that's my holdings within Ethereum mainnet. If you hover over to Polygon, whoa, you see a flood of weird tokens that I don't remember owning, but that's Polygon, right? So yeah, all these are apparently what I hold on Polygon chain. I'm rich, I think. If I liquidate my zippy.io tokens, I'm sure I'm rich. I just don't know it. And then something on BSC. I don't use BSC, so you don't see much here. And something on Phantom. I also don't really use Phantom. Yeah, so classic display of your balance. This page you can probably find on MetaMask as well. I've seen this being plugged into multiple types of wallets before. You know, from browser-based ones to plugin extension-based ones. And I think someone has also developed like a Android version. I might have seen one deployed before as well, right? So that's using our balances endpoint for most of these, get token balances for address. And the beautiful nature of that is that for one API call, supplying my address in that instance, you get all your balances of that one chain, right? So to get down to mechanics, there are 4 pages here. What happens behind the scene is that this application makes 4 API calls to 4 endpoints and changing the chain ID of each to get the balances of each. That's it, really efficient. 4 calls to 4 endpoints and ta-da, you get the response, you format it up a bit to make it look gorgeous like this. And then on the right side, I also see like all my historical transactions. So for instance, like on Saturday, I did this transaction, right? And then Thursday, I did a couple more transactions. Last Wednesday, I did a couple more transactions. And all these appear here. It's really useful for me. I just log into this site and anyone can actually try it. You can go to defi.vercel.app, right? The reason why it's vercel.app is, like I mentioned, this is a relatively new project. There's not much risk to it because, you know, it's just calling our endpoint to display your on-chain balances, but you can give it a go. They will prompt you a MetaMask login and then you log in and then you can basically analyze your holdings from here. If you're familiar with something like Zappa, that is, I believe, the most production-ready multi-chain dashboard and general debt as well that you see, right? So this DeFi is the version 0.1 of something like Zappa. It's on its way, but not quite there. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure if Zappa uses our API. Can't tell. So another example is this very cute wallet, Pizza Wallet. And the live demo used to work, but somehow it didn't work again. But I'm just going to play you the video to let you take a look what it looks like. Standard, you know, showing your historical holdings. And it even integrates a DEX where it allows you to swap one asset with another. So what I really like about this one is the UI. It's got a beautiful color scheme. Even has a fired on ramp using transact. So what you see here is that most applications, right, they use our endpoint to power certain pages, and they use other kinds of endpoints to power other pages. So, you know, that's how things get put together. Right, so that's those two examples of wallets. Moving on to the third most popular category. We've got analytics dashboards. And this one is pretty interesting. As you know, Covalent's API response is really data rich. So, which brings about lots of use cases across different kinds of verticals. And I'm just going to show you some of the examples of popular verticals that I've seen for this category. This is a GameFi analytics dashboard that's built using our API. What is GameFi? It is those things like Bomb Crypto, Crabada, and Axie Infinity, right? These kind of games that allow you to play to earn, so to speak. And a lot of times, like, it's a black box, right? We see this new hype term, or someone's playing this new game where you apparently just farm a little bit and then you win some opponents and then you own this thing that's of value. All those are very vague. The quickest way to get very incisive insight into what is actually going on behind the scenes of a GameFi application is to examine the data, which is why something like a GameFi dashboard is really powerful. From this, for instance, we have a Bomb Crypto game, right? We see the total volume in Bitcoin that's being transacted. Hold on, let me just drink some water. We see the total volume that's being transacted. We see its average sales price, the total sale per this B hero, the number of unique buyers. Very incisive traction numbers here, right? The higher sales price and then the fee calculated. And here you have some charts giving you the volume, daily sales, etc. What about this other game? Okay, allow it to load a little bit. There used to be pictures, like the pictures used to work, but I'm not sure why they don't work anymore. But you see, Alpha Market, in the last 24 hours, there were only 4 unique buyers. You know, it lost steam. What about Crabada? Okay, the numbers aren't loading properly, but hopefully this gives you an example of the kind of analytics dashboards that's being built with our API. Very popular category of sites that's built. Another one down the DAOs vertical, right, is this one, Galaxy, that's built by supplying a lot of the DAO addresses and pooling all these information using our API. So this is more like an educational tool for people who are new to DAOs. They don't know how many people are actually part of the DAO. How big is the treasury? What does the DAO actually do, right? So this is a platform that gives them a good overview of some of the popular DAOs in this space. Let's take a look at ENS. We see some of the DAO stats, right? I don't think these numbers in particular are returned with our API. But I think these are, we see the price of the ENS token, we see its market cap, we see the number of token holders. This is also a very popular use case of our endpoint. And it is generated using this get token holders as of any block height. If you don't supply any further arguments, it'll get you the token holders of the latest block height. So making a call with, for instance, the ENS token address, you'll be able to get the latest number of people who have bought ENS. What a powerful insight, right? You can even find out the latest number of people who have bought ENS as of 1 month ago, let's say 22nd of May, right? You're curious to know the changes. You want to do further analytics on how many people hold ENS across the years. This is the endpoint you're looking for as well. So really useful front end tool, right? Another one, DAO analytics platform, and this one with more data. It lists the biggest DAOs according to its treasury size. As you see, the treasury size of Uniswap is massive. It's got like 1.2 billion, right? BitDAO has 1.1 billion, and so on and so forth. These are all massive DAOs. And not only that, it shows you how many proposals has gone through its DAO and how many people have voted on each of the proposal. And this is a calculated field, which gives you a rough idea of how distributed the DAO is in terms of its DAO token holdings. A high Gini coefficient shows that it is not very distributed. Just like I believe US right now is has Gini coefficient of 0.4, right? It means that there's a big wealth divide between the richest and the poorest. So here we see that these DAOs have Gini coefficients of 0.9, which means that it is massively divided. Yeah. Anyway, if you click on any one of these, it's probably going to give you more statistics. Look, the number of proposals arranged by month. You can't get this from many sites. You could get it from Snapshot, I guess, but just looking at it, it gives you so much more behind the scenes kind of picture of what a DAO is, what activities goes on in the DAO, how active is it across time, and it's the size of its holdings across time. And here are all the crucial information. Let's check out another one. January was a very active month, full of proposals and new ideas amongst the Lido DAO community members. Last few months, I guess 8 proposals in a month is pretty active as well, right? But just in terms of pure votes, March was a month where a lot of people actually participated in it. And you see the number of token holders increasing. Awesome. Yeah, what looks like a massive drop is actually a drop from 0.98 to 0.90. And this is the treasury trends. right? This site is super well done. I invite all of you to explore it as well if you're interested in DAOs. I believe there's a lot of gems around here. And the developer is also requesting for feedback and features, any additional new features that you feel would be good for the site. So do reach out. I believe you can find all his contact details here.
Leibing, there was a question from Manu when you were talking about the ENS price. He was just asking, or he or she was asking if that data is actually live.
Which one? This one?
Yes. I think when you were speaking about ENS.
Yeah, I believe this data is live, right? We can cross-check it. ENS price. Okay. It shows it. It shows here it is 8. It's been around 9.8 USD for a while now. So let's take a look at. All right, then it's not accurate. Then this is not accurate. A lot of these sites, again, they are part of hackathons, and after the hackathon, sometimes the developers, they don't update it anymore. I'm just pulling it out for demo purposes, but yeah, at the time where this hackathon was done and I was reviewing this submission, the price was live. Maybe the developer stopped making calls to the API and hard coded this instead. You know, very common because you don't, if you bust your limits, you have to keep on paying for it. For price info, that is. For our API, for instance, there's a call limit of 5 calls per second, which I'm not sure whether you'll bust because it's not just me who makes this call to this site, right? Every time somebody logs into this site, you are refreshing the page, you're making one call to the API. And yeah, developers sometimes they just, for non-critical information or for sites that's not updated, they just put a hard code number. So probably not live. I'm not too fast because for the sake of demos, you know, all these used to be live. Yep.
Thanks.
No worries. Where was I? Okay, so analytics dashboards, a different kind, which is basically like NFT one that's built recently was this very interesting one, which allows you to compare the statistics between 2 collections side by side. So, okay, let's say you are very interested in Azuki collection as well as Moonbirds, right? You want to find out how many people actually own both. You click here. Sorry if you hear weird sounds coming out of my mouth. I'm actually chewing on this lozenge. It's very good. It's a herbal lozenge.
You sound pretty normal to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm normal, I think. My not that I'm supposed to be weird, but because I keep like moving this lozenge around in my mouth, right? And yeah, so don't want to get, you know, people on board with this ASMR that they didn't ask for. Okay, this is really slow. What's happening? It used to be very fast. yeah, maybe this is down or some parts of it has not been maintained. Well, that happens a lot. Unfortunately, I can't show what the rest of the site allows you to see, but just try to imagine, right? That on this page, what will appear is how many mutual holders do you see of both, along with further statistics like how many do they own, and broken down into percentiles, like the top 1% of owners of Azuki. How many Azuki does the person actually own from that collection? So it allows you to see again how distributed a collection is with regards to token holdings, like the Gini coefficient, but for NFTs. Yeah, a really useful front end. Is there any more? But okay, that wraps it up for analytics dashboards in general. So, and this applies to a lot of the hackathons that we're part of, right? Covalent falls into so-called the Web2 stack, where we use front-end calls, or so what they call client-side calls, to the API to get data, right? We don't call directly to the blockchains themselves, which is why our data is mostly aggregated. If you call directly to the blockchains themselves, you get a point query data. Like for instance, I wouldn't get all my token balances on my wallet. If I do a call to Web3 stack using web3.js or ethers.js, what I get is the token holdings I have of DAI in my wallet. And for me to display all the 4 tokens that you saw that I own, right, on Ethereum mainnet, I need to make 4 separate calls just for Ethereum mainnet. And I need to supply those calls with the contract address as well as the ABI of the tokens contract. So huge headache, right? Using our API, like which does belong to the Web2 stack of technology, we get this very nice shape data to fill up your page with wallet information. Where was I going with this? Yes, which is why our API is very good for doing like front-end websites that gives you insights into what is going on behind blockchains, whilst not necessarily interacting with the blockchain. If you have an website that interacts with the blockchain, that will be called a DApp, right? It's a decentralized application because you are interacting with the data, you're writing data. Covalent's tag is actually a read-only tag, and our niche comes about by providing you the convenience to read lots of rich, granular historical data, all within a couple of API calls. All these are examples of front-end displays, right? Crypto sheets, I've shown you a couple of displays. Wallets, you're just displaying. Notice that within those examples, there were no functionality built using the Covalent API to make a transfer to a friend, for instance, right? Because that will involve the Web3 backend stack, which our API does not cover in terms of scope, as of now. But still, that has not prevented some people from integrating our API into their full-fledged decentralized applications or dApps. And I'm going to show you some examples. This one is a very interesting one called the Akashic Recorder. Unfortunately, there is no fancy front end to be displayed for this, but it solves this problem, right? We have one game. Let's say you're playing MapleStory. I don't know who belongs to the generation of those that grew up with MapleStory, right? Let's say you play MapleStory and you reach level 30. Is it possible right now to use the fact that you've reached level 30 on MapleStory to then maybe become like a dragon rank on Gunbound, for instance. I'm revealing which generation of games I grew up with, but so right now it's not possible because games don't talk to each other. Akashic Recorder imagines a future where games actually talk to each other, where one achievement in one game allows you to unlock or is linked to another achievement in another game. And how this is done is by minting your game progress onto the blockchain backend, and then it uses our API to get your game progress to then kind of prove to this engine here, the Akashic Recorder engine, that indeed you are someone who has accomplished like something in game one, right? So it builds the middleware to connect between games so the games can talk to each other. And this is their front end, which is not very intuitive. It doesn't show much, but I've just explained what this app does. And this is an example of a DApp, decentralized application, because it makes it writes events and calls to the blockchain, and then use us on the front end side, or here in this case, not even the front end, it use our data to pipe it through to the server and does some logic with that. Very cool. Another one called Widow Router, which allows you to bridge your assets from one chain directly onto another chain in another token even. So it's like both a bridge and a swap together at once. Brilliant, right? So this uses our API to get your wallet balances. So remember I had 118 DAI? It's the same one because it uses our API to get it. Another one, which is the monitor. This is a really, really cool one where, you know how like now you can stake your ETH, right? And that secures the ETH for the big merge that is going to happen. And with your stake ETH, you're going to earn rewards in ETH. And so with this, you kind of are able to automate receiving your rewards. I think I've got Kiam raising his hand. Would you have a question to ask? Feel free to go ahead if you have a question. Oh, I see Max is here. Hi, Max. Hope you had a nice marriage. Okay, I'm nearly reaching the end. So this is the monitor. You know, I need to switch to Covalent test. Okay, whatever. I think go check it out. If you go watch the recording, you know, the site will be here and you can play around with it and see what it does. I'm going to leave the last 5 minutes for questions, but that hopefully gives you a rough idea of some of the popular use cases with our API. Yeah. Awesome. Let me quickly run through the chat. Yeah.
No worries. Thanks so much, Leibing. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to use the Q&A section at the bottom or chat too. And then, yeah, we can get Leibing to answer some of them.
Yeah, any questions you have, feel free to pop them through. You know, it's all casual. You could also unmute yourself to ask a question and say hi.
I guess as we wait for potential questions coming in, did you want to just give like a brief summary of how people can get involved in hackathons or even run a hackathon too through, I guess, Hackathon in a Box?
Yes, definitely. So first of all, you can get involved with the hackathons. We run lots of them, right? Keep your eyes peeled for the ETH Global ones. ETH Global. Okay, so we are involved with most of the hackathons for the rest of the year. What does that mean? We are sponsoring prizes. So if you have a cool idea of use case or application you want to build using your API, hey, go over there, work on a couple of projects, and you might even walk away the prizes. The criteria for you to win is not so high, right? It's a pool prize, and all you have to do is to show meaningful integration of our API for you to take away something. All right. So go there, try it out, have fun. And for those of you who have time and who want to get the experience of running your own hackathon, we have this hackathon in a box program where we give you this toolkit, right? A set of very clear instructions of how you can run a mini hackathon without support back in your hometown, wherever you might be, anywhere, right? Just a week, just a weekend hackathon of 2-3 days, right? You want to network with the people, some hackers, you want to find people within your city that's interested in Web3 and data, put together a quick hackathon using this toolkit that we have for you. It's really easy, and we have a budget for it as well that you can spend on event, on the banners, on the venue booking, on the prize money. And yeah, it'll be really fun. So Maxi has done one in back in his hometown, right? And he has done such a great job. And we saw a lot of great submissions, and I think he's made quite a few friends through the event as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Kirill from the Clayton Hackathon, right?
I think another question that we get quite a bit from people who want to participate in hackathons is, do they need to have experience coding to take part in our hackathons?
Yeah, so for those kind of hackathons that we were part of, right? The Clayton one, for that one, there were actually like daily quizzes for you to do that are not coding intensive. Whereas if you participate in a hackathon, like you want to build a project, then you probably would need to know how to code. Either that, or there's another way, which is to build a team. Let's say you are a more business person. Let's say you have a more product background, right? And you have a good business idea. Build a team in a hackathon, right? Even during a hackathon, you can say, hey, I'm looking for a developer to team up to kind of build this product. And your job will be to kind of say, oh, for my application, these are the features that I want, these are the pages that I want to see built. And guys, let's hack on it and let's try to come up with something. So even if you don't know how to code, right, you can build a team to fill in for skill sets that you don't have, and you can equally have a good and valuable time working on a project. Yeah.
All right, it looks like we have a few questions in the chat. Victor asks, are you considering adopting a rotating committee in view of recent events?
For this question, maybe I'll leave to you, Jackie.
A rotating committee. I'm a little bit confused of what Victor's specifically trying to ask. Okay, maybe I'll go to Manu's question. You demonstrated, for example, the 2 games dApps integration with Covalent. How would that work now with a limit of 5 requests per second if you have plenty of users?
Good question. It would not, which is why we are also coming out with a paid tier, which is a common practice for all API service companies. It can't be us that bears all the cost of serving the data to the entire pool of your user base. So we're coming out with a paid tier where if, let's say, you need 10,000 requests per hour or something, then you pay a fee. but our API will always be free to use. It'll be free to try, free to even get 5 requests per second for like a small scale starting out project is quite a lot, right? Within an hour, you get 3,600 requests. And one of our requests is already pretty data rich. So that is the kind of landscape that we're at right now.
Okay, perfect. Victor, with your question, I'm a little bit confused with it. So if you want to reach out to me personally to clarify, I'd be more than happy to answer it. But yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have.
Yeah, great questions.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and I hear you about the games requiring lots of live interaction and data. So one other way that developers work around it is we belong to a wide pool of other solutions as well. And some of the other solutions involve just directly calling blockchain to get the data, right? Especially if we're talking about gaming data, where it's so intensive. You don't need this like aggregated data, but you need like a very specific kind of like a data that can be gotten from the blockchain directly. Developers do that too. So they sometimes use multiple solutions to get their data.
All right, perfect. So it looks like we can close the webinar off. But yeah, if you have any questions, want to participate in hackathons, or even run your own hackathon, or even get more information on use cases, feel free to reach out to Leibing.
Get in touch.
But yeah, this recording will be available on our YouTube channel as soon as it's done uploading. But yeah, thanks guys so much for attending. There is a POAP for this webinar as well that will be going out in the next few days. But yeah, thanks so much, Leibing. This was awesome.
Thanks, Jackie, for hosting this. And thanks everyone for coming. Take care. Hope you'll have fun exploring further. And yeah, ciao guys. See you, Maxi. Bye.
Bye.